Listen, this is why, you know what I'm saying, my teacher told us that we should study. We should pick up these books. Obviously, once we having these spiritual experiences or gaining higher levels of consciousness, a lot of more people have written about them, right? And you can cross-reference a lot of things. You hear me? Cross-reference a lot of things. So I'm reading The Ladder of Lights by William G. Gray, right? Look at that face. And I'm also tapped into the Tatwashudi. A lot of shit dealing with the yogis and the Vedic system, right? So, and I'm going to tell you what I ran into. So I'm reading about Daf, right? So I'm reading about Daf on the tree of life, right? If you can see, it's that pillar there. Hopefully you're getting it. But with that being said, Daf is what they call knowledge, right? Knowledge is what? Daf by itself signifies knowledge of the type gained by experience and effort. It can also mean self-knowledge and sense of auto-awareness. Daf is the objective referred to by the well-known dictum, man, know thyself. Know yourself, nigga. Okay? Alright. And it is acquired knowledge rather than inherent faculty. So let's get down here. And it also go here and it talks about Daf, right? And how Daf was actually is actually Malkuth. Daf is the falling down into Malkuth. Daf actually exists as Malkuth, but Daf is the abyss. A whole bunch of shit that the God or gods use to create, which is just consciousness, right? Divine consciousness used to create this existence that we live in, right? And it says right here, at this stage, however, there was no objective creation. Hold on, now let me go back. Okay. An ideal arrangement of pure consciousness centered on nothing, the great nothingness, the divine feminine part of this whole energy, where divine masculine and feminine together, right? Which is called on so far. I've talked about it before. You should have heard it before if you studied the occult, right? And what is that? Pure energy, chaos. Long live Brother Pan. Long live Brother Pan. And shout out to Bobby Hemmett. You know what I'm saying? And at this stage, it says, at this stage, however, there was no objective creation to be conscious of. Remember this word objective. There was no objective creation to be conscious of. God was conceived, but not born. Knowledge sought. Experience. Remember, Daf is knowledge. So it says, knowledge sought experience, which could scarcely be obtained without material, without the physical. So this knowledge could be attained without the physical. Scarcely, like not really too much, right? So Da'af, or death, knowledge, death, Da'af, fell or was born into matter where it became Malkuth, leaving a gap in its original place, which is now the abyss. The original fall was not that of man, but of God, who sought knowledge through experience of man. The original fall was not that of man, but of God, who sought knowledge through the experience of man. This was the expulsion from paradise. Man was projected from subjective existence in the divine consciousness into a state of separated objectivity, becoming a being with limited self-determination. Come on. Now, if you've heard this, if you've studied before, right? Or if you've heard any of the occult masters or occult teachers talk, and they give you the breakdown of God wanted to experience itself. That's what we're all doing here. We're just God experiencing itself. I'm of that faction. I'm of that notion. That's what we're doing here. So it's not all for no fucking reason. That's what we're doing here. But check this out, right? We coming to the top with Shooty, the Vedic systems. And what I just read would you come from the Kabbalist. You know, I guess you can say, you know, the Jewish people got this information, but you know, it goes way further back than that, obviously, right? And over here, remember I told y'all, remember the objective. It said, what did it say over here? It said, knowledge at the stage, however, there was no objective creation to be conscious of. God was conceived but not born. Objective, remember that. And then we come down here where it says man was projected from subjective existence. Okay, let's see what the Talk with Shooty talks about objective and subjective. The type of experience, okay, that is called objective. And they talk about what's objective. That's using your five senses, right? Your taste, touch, smell, hear, see. That's objective. When you use, that's objective. When you use your senses. So when you're using your senses, that's objective reality. And that, my friends, is what we would call a lesser than experience. I can't even think of the fucking word right now, but we would call that a lesser than experience. What's a more high and profound experience? Let's see. Subjective. That is purely subjective. However, there's a range of experience when you can see with your eyes closed, taste in the absence of food, hear the sound of music without any instrument to cause it. It is unbound by the categories of the finite mind. Knowledge gained through a subjective experience is far more accurate and precise than that gained through an objective experience, because it is the consequence of the expanded mind. So what am I saying here? What am I saying here? God already had the infinite expanded mind. We already come from the infinite expanded mind. But we wanted to experience. And the only way to get that experience is through the objective mind, using the senses. So we're here to experience. This is basically what I just read to you. It's about experience. The life experience, the physical experience that we're experiencing, that we call life, that we call trauma, that we call hurt from losing family members, that we call hurt when we bump our knee, that we fall in love with when we taste that motherfucking steak, that fragrance that we love, that pussy that we love, and for the women, the dick that you love, the titties that I love, the feeling that I love when I get fly and people compliment me. That type shit. That's what we're here to do. It's very simple, but at the same time, it's a very detailed experience, and we have to work through all the details. Sometimes it takes many lifetimes. Sometimes it takes many lifetimes to get our full experience. And when we're done, home we go, baby. Get that experience. Study. I say study. Or your ass gonna come back the next lifetime and have to do it anyway. Anyway.